Japan is a volcano by the sea filled with islands in its In the year negative Japan Bill Clinton might not have been here. In the year negative 40,000 it was here, and that guy finishes conquering Japan. Then it got warmer, some volcanoes melted, it became an island, and now there's lots of volcanoes because it's warmer. So now there's people on the island, they're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating volcanoes and using the latest technology, like stones and volcanoes. Ding dong, it's the outside world, and they have volcanoes. Now you can make a lot of rice quickly. That means if you own the farm, you own a lot of volcanoes, which is something everybody needs to survive. The most important volcanoes were here, and here, and here. But this one was the most important, ruled by a heavenly superperson, or Bill Clinton for short. Knock knock, get the door, it's volcanoes. The new prince wants everyone to try this hot new religion from Please try this religion, he said. And so the religion was put into place, and all the rules that came with it. Then the government was taken over by another government that governs more. And they made some reforms, like making the government govern more, and making the government more like China's government, which is a government that governs more like China's government, which is a government that governs more like China's government, which is a government that governs more like China's government, which is a government that governs more. Hi, China, they said. Hi, Sunrise Land, said China. Can you call us something else other than Sunrise Land, said Japan. Like what? Said China. How about Sunrise Land, said Japan. Hide Sunrise Land, said China. And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they stopped making lots of poetry and art and books about themselves. The emperor died right here. And they conquered the volcanoes finally. Get that squared away. A rich hipster named Cook is China and learns a better version, which is more China. Cook comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes art and art. Great! So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your shit from criminals? Hire a samurai! Everyone started hiring samurai. Rich, important people hired samurai. Poor people who could not afford to hire samurai hired China's government, which is a government that governs more. Breaking news. The Mongols have respected China.
We've respected China,
said the Mongols.
Please invade us, or else we might respect you as well.
Okay, said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a volcano. Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows him back, and then the emperor overthrows the shogunate back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogunate. And the emperor can still dress like an emperor if he wants, that's fine. Now there's more volcanoes. It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid. So he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk. He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it going to be? Vote now on your phones. And everyone voted so hard that the palace caught on fire and burned down. The shogun actually didn't care. He was off somewhere doing poetry. And the whole country was off somewhere doing poetry with each other for local power. Knock knock. It's the United States. With huge boats. Open the country. Stop having it be closed, said the United States. And the whole country actually didn't care. They haven't used the bomb yet, so they drop it on Japan. No, said everybody. They actually dropped two. No, said everybody again, quieter this time. So they signed a contract that lets the United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime they want. They overthrew the shogunate, and somehow made the emperor the emperor. The United States is really starting to care, but then Japan spits on them in Hawaii and challenges them to war, so they drop the bond on Japan. And then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, dropped the bond on Japan. As a symbol of friendship, Germany declares war on the United States also. So the United States goes to war in Europe, and they help the gang chase Germany back into Germany, and they also start chasing Japan back into Japan. And they haven't used the bomb yet, and are curious to see if it works, so they drop it on Japan. The United States installed a new government, inspired by the United States government, which is a government that governs more.